and the reaction on every Marvel variant, Cameo, and Avengers Secret Wars. See the Cosmic One has to say about this and check this out.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Cosmic Wonder. I'm Warren Thompson, and Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to everybody who recently celebrated. I hope it was good for everybody, and I hope everybody has a great New Year's. As we go into another year, we get closer to Avengers Secret Wars, the next Avengers Endgame level type of movie from Marvel Studios. And based off of everything that we've heard so far, anything is fair game for Secret Wars. The multiverse is going to be heavily involved, and not like in Multiverse of Madness. This movie is going to be exploring a lot of different multiverses, and a lot of different heroes and possibly villains are going to all be coming together on screen in one universe. It's pretty much the ideal scenario for every Marvel fan out there. The Avengers, the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, and a bunch of different variants of these characters all together on screen. Pretty much what we've been waiting for since the inception of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and even way before then, where we still had the Fox Marvel movies. Now, we've talked a lot about some characters that could possibly show up in Avengers Secret Wars, but today we're going to go over all the characters from other universes who could show up in this movie. And in fact, it looks like Kevin Feige, the president of Marvel Studios, does have some pretty big plans to bring other characters from other universes into the main MCU for Avengers Secret Wars. So today we're going to go over who could possibly show up based off of who Kevin Feige has worked with before. And if you are unaware, Kevin Feige has worked with Marvel since the very first X-Men film, way back in the year 2000, which means he's been working with Marvel Studios even before then, because we all know it doesn't just take a few days to make a movie. So who can and will Kevin Feige bring back from his past into the Marvel Cinematic Universe and into the movie Avengers Secret Wars? That's what we'll be going over today. Also, a reminder about the giveaway. We're keeping it going until the end of the year. We'll choose one more winner this week, and then next year we're going to keep going with the giveaways as well. So all you have to do to enter is subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below. And in fact, right now, let me know who you would like to see the most return from a previous Marvel movie or show. It could be an X-Men, a Fantastic Four member, it could be Agent Coulson, anybody. Let me know down below. Now, to start off, let's acknowledge that pretty much anybody could show up in Avengers Secret Wars, but today we're going to talk about who realistically could show up. Now, that obviously includes anybody who is currently alive in the MCU or who has been alive before in the MCU. The perfect example is Robert Downey Jr. will most likely return, playing some sort of variant of himself in Secret Wars. The same thing goes for Chris Evans, returning as Captain America, Scarlett Johansson returning as Black Widow, and so on and so forth. And the chances of them returning for Secret Wars for a little cameo is very, very realistic. So anybody who is in the MCU or has been in the MCU could pop up in Secret Wars. But today we're going to be talking about characters from other universes. Like I mentioned, characters who Kevin Feige has specifically worked for in the past. And of course, we're going to be starting off with the original X-Men, the first project that Kevin Feige worked on in 2000. Now, rumor has it that this is a big one for Kevin Feige. And yes, while there are many, many different X-Men films over in the Fox universe, rumor has it that the original X-Men from the original X-Men trilogy are going to be Kevin Feige's priority. So that includes the original X-Men movie, X2, X-Men United, and of course, X-Men The Last Stand. And the cool news is, we're not just talking about the heroes, not just the actual X-Men team, but we're talking about the main characters that appear in these X-Men films, with a heavy focus on the original X-Men team and the bad guys. So of course, Magneto, and I'm assuming Mystique would be along for the ride as well. But here's who we're talking about showing up. Patrick Stewart returning as Charles Xavier, who of course has already returned in Multiverse of Madness, and of course Hugh Jackman returning as Logan/Wolverine, who we will see return in Deadpool 3. Ian McKellen as Magneto, of course, he is iconic. It would be awesome to see him return. Halle Berry as Storm. Famke Janssen could return. It depends on when exactly they pull them from the timeline, because of course, as we know, she ends up dying. However, if they pull her from the first or second film, she could definitely be in Secret Wars. Same thing goes with James Marsden's Cyclops. He of course died, but depending on when the universes collide, he could also be there as well. And keep in mind, it's Kevin Feige kind of saying his goodbye to the original Fox X-Men, so I would expect the original team to show up, even though some of them are dead. And of course, we can't forget Adam Paquin as Rogue. And of course, Sean Ashmore could even show up as Bobby Drake / Iceman. And I'm assuming that's the original X-Men team that's going to be pulled into Secret Wars, on top, of course, of characters like James McAvoy's Professor Xavier. And of course, with that comes Michael Fassbender's Magneto. There's a rumor that he was even supposed to be in Multiverse of Madness, but they never ended up using the footage. Then I suspect we could see Jennifer Lawrence pop up as Mystique. Now from there, I do think we could see other characters pop up as different variants, because I do believe we are going to have many different variants appear at the same time. That's why Kevin Feige would bring in both Patrick Stewart and James McAvoy to play different variants of Professor Xavier. The same thing goes for Ian McKellen and, of course, Michael Fassbender's Magnetos. The same thing goes for Kelsey Grammer. He could show up as Beast, but Nicholas Hoult could also show up as Beast as well. As far as what realistically to expect, I think this main X-Men team and a few of these characters from First Class is what we'll probably see in Secret Wars. But the X-Men aren't the only people who are going to be appearing in Secret Wars, because Kevin Feige worked on a lot more movies, including Spider-Man in 2002. Now, of course, we've already had Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man return, so I would expect to see him again. Tobey Maguire did seem to really have a blast being back, and he even said that himself, that he was really happy to come back and that he would do it again. And I think it would be a big waste if he didn't return for Secret Wars, so I would expect Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. Now, Kevin Feige also worked on the Daredevil movie. This was in 2003 with Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner, who played Elektra. Now, I know Ben Affleck's Daredevil isn't the most loved Daredevil of all time. However, it still would be really cool to see him come on screen along with Elektra. And we're just getting started with the movies. There are many more coming that we're going to talk about. But first, a big thank you to Mint Mobile for sponsoring this video. Most people know about Mint Mobile because of Ryan Reynolds, but most people don't know about Mint Mobile's amazing quality. Now, I live in the mountains and service isn't too good. However, Mint Mobile sent me a free plan, and I get better service with their plan than I do with my other provider. But what's crazy is their plan is so much cheaper. Mint Mobile offers wireless for just $15 a month. They give you the best rate whether you're buying for one or a family. And at Mint Mobile, families start at only 2 lines. All plans come with unlimited talk and text, plus high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Plus, Mint Mobile's modern family plan lets you mix and match data plans so everyone gets the amount of data that's right for them. And you can use your own phone and keep your same number and contacts. So to get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month, including the modern family plan, go to mintmobile.com/cosmic. That's mintmobile.com/cosmic. Cut your wireless bill down to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/cosmic. Now, one movie I want to mention is Ghost Rider with Nicolas Cage. Kevin Feige seemingly doesn't have any type of credits for that movie at all. However, I would be surprised if Nicolas Cage actually didn't pop up in Secret Wars. I think that his Ghost Rider was pretty iconic, whether you liked it or not. Nicolas Cage was a Ghost Rider for those movies. And if the rumor is true, Marvel Studios is planning on bringing a new Ghost Rider into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So it would be cool to see Nicolas Cage pop up alongside of the new Ghost Rider as well. But the next movie in the lineup is the 2003 Hulk movie with Eric Bana. And not gonna lie, it would be really cool to see Eric Bana show up as the Hulk from the 2003 Hulk movie alongside of Mark Ruffalo and, of course, Edward Norton, who played the Incredible Hulk in 2008, which was technically a part of the MCU. It still technically is to this day a part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So to see these 3 Hulks together and also She-Hulk alongside of them, I think that would be pretty cool. And since Kevin Feige worked on both of those films and of course has worked with Mark Ruffalo and She-Hulk, I think it's a big possibility. Then we have the 2004 The Punisher film with Thomas Jane. I think this would be insanely cool for him to show up and John Bernthal's Punisher to show up as well. Now, we already have Daredevil from the Netflix series who has showed up, Matt Murdock, Charlie Cox, and rumor has it that John Bernthal is going to return as the Punisher in an upcoming series, perhaps the Echo series, perhaps the Daredevil series. So I think it would be really, really cool if we saw John Bernthal next to Thomas Jane's The Punisher. Now then, of course, we have Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man 3. Now, we already know that Tobey Maguire's most likely coming back, but however, like I mentioned, they're also probably going to bring in some villains as well. There was a rumor a while ago, and I don't know how credible this is, so just take it as a unreliable rumor for now, but the rumor stated that Topher Grace was going to return as Venom. Honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing it, especially if Tom Hardy could make his way over for Secret Wars in his version of Venom. And I think that would be really cool, because one of them would be bad, and one of them would be good. One of them would fight with Kang, and the other fight with the Avengers and the X-Men and the Fantastic Four, and so on. Plus, not to mention, if Tom Hardy's Venom came, we could see him fight alongside of the other Spider-Man, which I think would be really cool as well. Now, here's something that's really interesting that I don't actually know how it's going to go down if it does happen, but Kevin Feige was a part of the original Blade movies with Wesley Snipes. Now, Wesley Snipes has kind of gotten into some trouble over time, so I'm not sure Marvel Studios would want to bring him back. However, with Mahershala Ali about to be the new Blade in the MCU, it would be cool to see him alongside of Wesley Snipes. And something else that would be really, really cool to see is Deadpool and Ryan Reynolds' character from Blade Trinity, Hannibal King, together on screen. Yes, Ryan Reynolds was in the original Blade franchise, and you know Deadpool would mention that and make fun of it. Now, the next movie is Elektra from 2005, but like I already mentioned, for Daredevil, Elektra could return. And the next movie after that, which many fans might not know even exists, is Man-Thing, which came out in 2005. Now, we just had Man-Thing be introduced in the MCU in Werewolf by Night, so again, it would be really cool to see two variants of one character standing next to each other in Secret Wars. And then, of course, the big ones, the Fantastic Four films. Now, rumor has it from insiders right now that the original Fantastic Four and some of the original X-Men are going to appear in Deadpool 3. This will lead them to the MCU, making their way to appear in Secret Wars. Now, since we are getting a new Fantastic Four team in the MCU very soon, I would be absolutely shocked if we didn't see the old original Fantastic Four team, especially since Chris Evans played the Human Torch. That's a big opportunity to see Chris Evans on screen as Captain America and as the Human Torch, which I think everybody would absolutely love. So, I would definitely expect the original Fantastic Four team to be in Secret Wars. However, one thing I am not sure is if the 2015 Fantastic Four team will show up. The movie wasn't received very well by fans, and Kevin Feige really didn't have anything to do with that movie. And I'm not really sure it would cause much of a wow factor. And in this case, I think the old original Fantastic Four with Jessica Alba showing up next to our new Fantastic Four team would be more than enough to make fans awe. So I wouldn't actually expect a 2015 Fantastic Four team to show up. And with those final movies, that takes us to the creation of the Marvel Cinematic Universe with Iron Man starting in 2008. And like I said, anyone from the MCU, even if they are still dead, are fair game to show up in Avengers Secret Wars. But this is our list of previous superheroes who could realistically show up in Avengers Secret Wars. In fact, I would expect many of them to show up. But let us know your thoughts about this in the comments down below, and let us know who you would like to see show up more than anybody else. Leave your thoughts down below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the latest news. For live updates, you can follow us on Instagram and Twitter. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.
Yeah, please subscribe, like this video, and see you guys. Bye.